Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and for our lesson for today, we will be discussing about endogenic processes, specifically talking about our magmas. So again, this is Sir AJ Aliado, and let's learn Earth and Life Science the easier way. So for our competitors for today, we should be able to describe where the Earth's internal heat comes from, describe how magma is formed or magmatism, and describe what happens after the magma is formed or plutonism and volcanism. So let us first define what is magma. Magma is a mixture of molten rock, minerals, and gases. This mixture is usually made up of hot liquid base called the melt, minerals crystallized by the melt, and solid rocks incorporated. So technically, magmas are just molten rocks combined with minerals na and also your gases infused together, which now happens to make a magma, which is inside now or underneath the Earth's crust. Magma is a mixture of molten or semi-molten rock, volatiles, and solids that is found beneath the Earth's surface of the Earth, and is expected to exist on the other terrestrial planets, not just on the Earth. And besides molten rock, magma may also contain suspended crystals and dissolved gases, and sometimes also gas bubbles. These magmas originate in the lower part of the Earth's crust and in the upper portion of the mantle. As we all know, it is called a stenosphere. Sa gitna siya ng ating crust and your mantle. Technically, it's a part of our mantle, but it's in the topmost layer of the mantle, just below our crust. So, how are magmas formed? At about 30 to 65 kilometers below the Earth's surface, the temperature is high enough to melt rocks into magmas. So, sabi nga dyan, in 30 to 65 kilometers, natutunaw na ang rocks natin para maging magma. Remember that every kilometer pailalim papunta sa ating core ay tumataas ng 30 degrees Celsius. Magma behaves like a solid because of the great pressure of layers above it. Okay? And the melt flows very slowly because it is under intense pressure. And the formation of faults or breaks in the rocks decreases the pressure. Thus, magma is changed into liquid form and flows toward areas of low pressure. Remember, guys, that as a general rule, higher concentration would like to go out or to move out to a lower concentration. So example for pressure, dahil mataas ang pressure from the crust and all of the weight na nakapatong dito sa ating magma, they would like to go to a lower concentration of pressure. Thus, it seeks now to get out through your central vents, through faults, o yung mga cracks within our Earth's crust. Now let's talk about the gases within our magma. So magma contains gas dissolved in liquid. As magma rises at the Earth's surface of the Earth, pressure is decreased, and the gas forms a separate vapor phase, similar to what happens in sodas. Carbonated beverages are bottled at a high pressure. The high pressure keeps the gas to be dissolved in the liquid solution. But with decrease in pressure, like when the can or bottle is open, the gas comes out of solution and forms a separate gas phase that you see as bubbles. So technically, we could explain this one like what happens during our daily life. Sometimes when we buy Coke or our sodas, our soft drinks, tapos tumakbo ka or nag-intense tumaas ang pressure, naalog-alog mo ng konti yung bote. Once you open the bottle now, nagkakaroon ng spillage na tumatapon yung ating Coke or yung ating soft drinks because of the intense pressure. Tapos nga, palabas nga yung pressure because again, as a general rule, from higher concentration to lower concentration. So when magma emerges on the surface of the earth, it is now called a lava. Again, As I have talked earlier, underneath the Earth's crust, ang tawag natin sa molten rocks ay magma. But once it is released now from our surface or the surface of the Earth, it is now called lava. Lava, lavas. Lava, lavas. So gas gives the magma its explosive character. When gases cannot escape readily, the eruption is more explosive. So remember that habang mas madami ang gas and because of the viscosity of our liquid or our molten rocks, mas madaming natatrap na gas and dahil mas mataas ang gas, mas malakas ang ang explosion or ang eruption ng ating magma and others. Let's now talk about the viscosity of magma. Viscosity is the resistance to flow. We can translate it to Filipino such as the labnaw or lapot ng isang liquid type um, matter. Depends primarily on the composition and temperature of magma. So the viscosity now depends now kung ano ang may gawa, saan gawa rather ang ating magma and the temperature of magma. Magma with higher silica content has higher velocity. Okay, so mas mataas ang silica content, that's your silicon and oxygen combined. Yung silica content, mas mataas ang viscosity, ibig sabihin mas malapot. And your magma with low temperature has higher viscosity. So yung mas mababa ang temperature, mas mataas ang viscosity. The magma escape routes. Magma can also extrude into the atmosphere as part of violent eruption. This magma, when solidifies in the air, forms volcanic rock called tephra. Okay? So these tephra now are those na nag-erupt from our volcanoes, and then when it reaches out to our atmosphere, nag-solidify siya. So remember, it is molten rocks na medyo kalat-kalat. Remember that under the crust, malayong mas mainit ang temperature, and once it reaches now, so super fast ng ating ng ating magma, lumabas na siya, so lava na siya, tapos umakyat na sa ating atmosphere, which is a lot colder compared now to our um, the crust of the earth, ay nagsosolidify siya. And because very quickly lang ang pagkakaroon ng time niya, hindi siya nagkaroon ng time to clump up or to magsama-sama. That's why may liit lang usually ang tephra natin, and sometimes mga pa-dust particles pa nga. Let's now talk about magma chambers. Magma collects in areas called magma chambers. The pool of magma is layered. The least dense magma rises to the top, and the densest magma sinks at the bottom of the chamber. So, just like the normal liquids natin, those with denser or yung mga medyo mas mabigat na liquid natin will really go to the bottom of our chamber or our lalagyan. Yung mga mas mabigat, bumababa ito sa mas malalim na parte ng ating chamber. And the least dense magma ay nasa taas banda. If a magma chamber encounters an enormous amount of pressure, it may break the rocks around it. The rocks are called vents and fissure. Remember again that our magma chamber, our magma in general, are under a lot of pressure or mataas ang pressure niya within our Earth's crust. So, again, sabi natin humahanap siya ng mas mababa ang pressure. So, tends now to go up. And with the pressure na kasama niya, ay nakakapag-break siya ng ating mga rocks or the surface of the earth, the crust. Nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng ating vents and fissure. So there are three ways to generate now our magma. One is decompression melting, transfer of heat, and flux melting. One by one, we will be discussing these three. First, let's talk about decompression melting. Involves the upward movement of the Earth's mostly solid mantle. So ang ating magma ay nag-seep through to our crust through these vents, to these fissures na lumulusot or umaakyat ngayon ang ating magma At yung habang umaakyat siya, yung crust na daanan niya will be melted because of the heat brought about by our magma. Another one is your transfer of heat. Magma can also be created when hot, liquid rocks intrude the Earth's crust. As the liquid rock solidifies, it loses its heat and transfer it to the surrounding crust. Repeated intrusion can transfer enough heat to increase the local geothermal gradient and cause melting of the surrounding rock, and this creates now a new magma. So nagka-transfer, syempre habang umaakyat po ang ating magma, nababawasan siya mismo ng heat, but it transfer now sa mga katabi niyang mga rocks. And through time, nagme-melt na rin ang ating mga nakapaligid na rocks. And lastly, our flux melting occurs when water or carbon dioxide is added to the rocks. The compounds cause the rock to melt at a lower temperature. So when carbon dioxide and water is now added to yung ating mga rocks, ay mas bumababa ang temperature nito, thus making yung pagdaan ng ating mga magma ay nagkakaroon mas madali nang matunaw or magmelt ang ating rocks because of again of carbon dioxide and water. Let's now talk about types of magmas. But basically, our magmas are composed now of oxygen and silicon. Collectively known, pag together na po siya, as silica or your SiO2. So, it is the most abundant element in our magma. The first type of magma is your felsic type. It is the highest silica content of all, has the highest gas content and viscosity. Commonly found at convergent plate boundaries where transfer of heat and flux meeting could create large volcanoes. So remember again, felsic magma contains now the highest silica content. Okay, ito may pinakamadaming silica or yung silicon and oxygen natin. Ito rin na may pinakamaraming gas content. Okay, at may pinakamataas na viscosity. Malapot na malapot po ito. And again, founded sa convergent plates o yung mga nagsasalubong na plates na kung saan mayroong nagkre-create ng ating large volcanoes. Felsic is extremely thick and volatile in nature. Felsic eruptions occur at temperature between 1200 degree Fahrenheit and 1400 degree Fahrenheit. Felsic lavas flows form lava spines or lava domes. Just like at the picture, parang yan po ay isang lava spine kung saan naman ay may streak lang or parang linya ng ating felsic lava where hindi naman niya kinakalat throughout our yung dinadaanan niya. Felsic lava eruptions typically occur due to the flare-up of hot spots in the continental crust, and felsic lava contains aluminum, potassium, sodium, and calcium, which forms now our feldspar and quartz. The next type of our magma is intermediate. Pag sinabing intermediate, nasa gitna, siya po ay nasa gitna ng ating felsic and our mafic type of magma. When we say intermediate, it does have a higher silica content than mafic, and as a result, mas mataas ang kanyang viscosity and gas content than our mafic, and it builds up pressure beneath the Earth's surface before it can be released as a lava. Intermediate lava compared to felsic has lower content of silica and aluminum and more magnesium and iron. So mas marami ang magnesium and iron ng ating intermediate compared to our felsic, the one we discussed earlier. The temperature now of eruption for intermediate is around 1400 Fahrenheit to 1800 Fahrenheit. Intermediate lava flows forms andesite domes and lava blocks. So nagkakaroon tayo ng domes within our craters and lava blocks. Intermediate lava is much more liquid in nature, and distinctive crystals known as phenocrysts can be found in it. Okay? Let's now talk about our mafic type of lava. It has a relatively low silica but high in iron and in magnesium. So our mafic ay mas kaunti ang laman nitong silica, our silicon and oxygen, but has a higher content of iron and magnesium. Has a high average temperature which contribute to its low viscosity, and mafic magma is most fluid of all types. Okay? Mafic lava has a high content of magnesium and iron. Mafic lava eruptions occur at temperature greater than 1800 degree Fahrenheit, and mafic lava like intermediate lava, is liquid in nature and phenocryst can also be found in it. So just like your intermediate, meron po itong phenocryst and mas liquid po siya, liquid in nature, and it has higher content of your iron and your magnesium. And lastly, our Ultramafic, basically ito lang po yung kinoconsider natin as the hottest and the fastest flowing magma where mas kaunti na naman po ang silica content nito compared to our Mafic. So, in summary, our magma compositions now for our magma are the felsic type. It creates now your feldspar and silica. It contains 66 to 76% of silica. Your intermediate magma contains 52 to 66% silica. Your mafic, na mas mataas sa magnesium and iron rather, ay may 45 to 52% silica, and our ultramafic only contains 38 to 45% silica. So that's it for our first part of the endogenic processes. Again, thank you for watching. If you have questions to ask, feel free to comment down below para po mabasa ko ang inyong comments and your questions. And if you have comments how to improve our videos, we can do that as well. And again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. If you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. And to update you for my next videos, please hit the notification bell. Again, have a great day. This is Teacher AJ. Peace, y'all. Have a great day. Bye bye.